make a little video of things to be mindful while you're riding a motorcycle, and some things you should understand before you get on a motorcycle and start riding around town, right? So, thing number one. All right, so one of the first things is you have to know how the motorcycle operates, right? So, here are the handlebars. You're sitting here on my motorcycle or on your motorcycle, and when you're driving it, the handlebars can only go forward and backwards, right? So both handlebars I can push them forward or I can bring them towards me, right? And we do this constantly when we're turning. Now, one thing you have to realize is to get the bike to go that way, what you need to be doing is pushing forward on that handlebar. And when you push forward on the handlebar, that's what's going to give it its lean and continue through the corner, all right? Because motorcycles counter steer. If we want the motorcycle to go that way, we push on this handlebar. That's going to get the bike leaned over. The momentum from the tire corrects the forks again, and then you continue on your corner. All right. So if you were driving and you wanted to go now that way, you would do the same thing. You're driving, you push, that gets the bike leaned over, and the momentum takes you back this way. All right. All right. So how to take a corner. So one of the main thing is we want to make sure that our eyes are looking. See, our eyes should be looking at where we're going, right? You want to look up there. Our vision, that you don't want to have your vision right here in front of the bike and then you don't see on time what's happening. So you want to look up over here. So you kind of follow where my stick is going. That's where you want to be looking at, up here. You want to give yourself time to recognize what's happening, okay? All right, so once we got that established, now step two is you push the handlebar in the direction you want to go. All right, so in this video, we got several corners that come up. So we'll just see, I push with this hand. I push, I look, and it should go. Same thing again, I'm going straight now, I'm going straight. I'm looking at my horizon. I'm looking straight, I realize there's a corner. I'm no braking, no corner yet. Here it is, coming. No, not coming yet. There we go. So now I push where I want to go. Okay? This is basically how you get the motorcycle to steer. Here he's doing a little bit of braking. He's leaning the bike over by pushing where he wants to go. See, this side, you push this way. This side, you push this way. See? So you just kind of follow the road. And then every time there's a corner, here he's braking. Braking, the downshifting, pushing. Push, looks where he wants to go. As soon as he can see where he can stand the bike up, he rolls out of throttle. Or he rolls throttle out of the corner. Braking, pushing because it's out of the corner. Here it is again. Now he's pushing this way. Now he's accelerating, going straight, doing a little bit of braking, and pushing. Okay, so all right, so what do we get established so far? We got established so far that as I'm trying to drive down the road, right, I see that there's a corner here. I'm going to get up to that corner. My chin is pointed towards the corner, and I'm going to take this approach. I'm going to try to be on this side of this road, not on this side. And not really in the center either, right? So I already see there's a corner coming up. So I want to start lining my bike up to this side. Why is this? Well, because if I am traveling on this side, when I get to this corner, my eyesight or my line of sight is going to be able to see more than if I was here. See, I got to travel further into that corner to see what's going on. But if I'm on this side, once I get over here, I can already see probably around that bend. So from here, I line myself up to here, and then I start pushing with my handlebar, looking at where I want to go. All right. Okay, so here's an example when you line up the bike on the left side, when you're taking a left turn, then you're on the wrong racing line, and then this can happen. Somebody can run at you from the other side, or you won't be able to see around that corner, and that will just not be good. There it is, braking, a little maintenance throttle, and he holds by again. And just repeats the process, not going, through different set of corners, but everything in your head should still maintain the same, which is going to be, 1, always point your chin in the direction of that corner, right? This will just create good habits to get your head movement going, right? Number two is going to be obviously push that handlebar, and that's where, because that'll be the direction of the bike, of where you want the bike to go. And then once you get that bike lean, you stay in the lean until you physically see where you can stand the bike back up to go to either another corner or a straightaway. But you stay in the lean without accelerating, or you can brake if it's an emergency, obviously, or you need to brake because maybe you came in too hot. You can always brake, but accelerating too early or prematurely at the corner is no good, because it's going to throw you off to the wrong line, the wrong side of the road, right? So if this guy's going on this road, and let's say he takes the inside lane versus the outside lane, he gets the bike tipped over and accelerates, he's going to end up in this ditch right here. See what I'm trying to say? So you got to make sure you catch that angle right. But right now, being new, what you should focus on is, number one, make sure you are looking where you want to take the bike. Number two is, all you got to get it to do to lean is push in that direction, and the bike will lean over. Once the bike is leaned over, keep it in the lean with a steady maintenance throttle, meaning you're not hauling, you're not accelerating, you're not braking too hard, you're just keeping it leaned over until you can see where you can stand the bike back up. And to get the bike to stand back up, you give it just throttle out of it. You'll see that the bike will start picking up again. Boom. We accelerate, we're doing some upshifting, now some downshifting. I see where my corner is. I line up all the way to the outside because I want to be able to see well. I get it tipped in, and I repeat the process over and over and over again. All right, here's going to be a good example of what trail braking is. All right, so trail braking is braking when you're in the corner so you can adjust where you're pointing the motorcycle at, right? So here we are, we're driving this motorcycle, we got it leaned over, so we're pushing to where we want the motorcycle to go, right? And now I'm gonna get a chance to trail brake here. So as I'm going really fast around the corner, right? So not here, I'm still going through a straightaway. So we're going through a straightaway, I'm upshifting, I'm going, I hit the brakes a little bit, I get the bike leaned over, I'm looking, right? So here, I have to adjust a little bit with my brakes to just get her pointing right in the right direction. That's what trail braking is. All right, trail braking is you're still braking while you're in that corner, and you adjust that braking to get the bike leaned over just perfectly, so you have the right angle to be able to throttle out of it. Okay, so that's really how I can explain, or the best I can explain, trail braking. So trail braking is braking while you are leaned over, trying to get the bike pointed in the right direction to be able to exit that corner, right? So to understand that, you must also understand that prior to you going into that corner, you don't slam on the brakes, but you hit the brakes, and that's going to make the suspension load up, either come up. If you're accelerating, it'll go to the back tire, or if you are braking, it will compress and give you grip. Okay, never ever grab a handful of brake and just slam on the brakes. No, it's always gonna be like a gradual, like 1%, 2%, 3%, all the way to whatever you need to make the vehicle stop. All right, so loading up the suspension is just as important as learning how to brake, because you brake and you load up the suspension is kind of like one in itself. As you are braking, that's what's loading up the suspension and giving you that grip, giving all that force down to the tire. That way the contact patch is larger and we can have grip around this corner. See, and you'll also notice here, as he's dipped in the corner, so obviously it's compressed, he's got that grip, contact patch is large, and as he's exiting the corner and starts to throttle out, you'll see the suspension pick up, giving all the way to the rear tire, and then your rear tire has the grip, and that's what gets you, again, moving forward. All right, so here we're just doing a little recap of everything. We're looking at the horizon. We're driving our motorcycle. When we see that we have a corner, we're gonna load our suspension out by braking properly, and then we're going to get our motorcycle leaned over. Once the bike is leaned over, remember guys, we do not want to unlean the bike unless I see an actual place where now the road continues on straight. Okay, because if I accelerate while I'm leaned over, what's going to happen is I'm going to run wide. If I decelerate while I'm in the corner, then I'm going to I want to cut the angle of the corner too short. Okay, so important is to keep it while it's leaned over to have that maintenance throttle, meaning I'm just keeping momentum through that corner. I'm not really accelerating until and only until it's pointing in the right direction. And what's making it point in the right direction is where you can see with your physical eyes that you can see that the corner has finished or I'm entering another corner and now it's time to either switch directions or pick the bike up and keep going straight. All right, guys, so those are my tips on how to corner your motorcycle, okay? So you're out there on the road. Let's do a little recap. You're looking at the horizon. You're lining yourself up in the correct position to be able to look around that corner. And then once you see there's a corner coming up, what you do is you take your chin and you look at your corner. So if your corner is that way, you take your chin and you look at your corner. Once you have looked at that corner, there's several things going on at the same time. You're probably already braking and loading the suspension up like we talked about. You get the bike leaned over. Once the bike is actually, leaned over, you stay in that lean. You don't really throttle out just yet. You throttle out only when you can see that the corner is finishing and you see a straightaway. That's when you start to throttle out. If you throttle out before that, you're going to run wide. If you're going through that corner and just let go of the throttle, then you're going to cut the angle really short. You're going to cut the radius of the corner short. So you just maintain momentum and maintaining that throttle, and when you see the exit, you just start picking the bike. You start accelerating, and then you'll see the bike. It'll start wanting to go forward because all the force is going to go to the back tire, and that's going to grip you and move you forward through that corner.